Hello and welcome. Back here on YouTube at Gulotta Studios, I'm going to be working on this painting here. And this painting actually has a bit of an interesting story to tell. But first, I've got my colors, as you can see on my palette here. I've got burgundy red, I've got Payne's gray, that dark color there, Indian orange, I've got a yellow green, titanium white, cadmium yellow light, chromium oxide green, cadmium red light. And these colors are all going to be used to help me make this painting. Now, normally I don't hold my palette because I like having my other hand free, because sometimes I do a little work with my fingers and sometimes that can be very handy. And of course, before you start working on a piece, you should wash your hands, mainly just to keep the natural oils and acids that end up forming on the skin and on the fingers from damaging your painting way later on. And if you don't care about how long your painting lasts, don't worry about it. But if you really want a painting to last for decades or even more, you should always start off with clean hands. Just a good practice to get into. There's also bacteria that can eat linseed oil. And so if you're working with oil paint, which I am today, then that is really important to keep bacteria away from the linseed oil, so it doesn't end up eating your painting 100 years from now. Because the painting will probably last. Oil paints last a very, very long time, as we know. I also have a series of brushes here. These brushes are all bristle brushes. And bristle brushes are very good at leaving brush strokes. They leave a lot of texture. And that's something that I really want to do. I want to have a lot of texture. This piece already has so much texture that I kind of want to highlight that. So I'm going to put my palette here, just down on my little side table here at the studio. And I'm also going to do the same thing with my brushes for the moment. Let me get one brush I'm going to start with. Now, this painting was started by a student of mine, and they didn't like it, and they were going to get rid of it. And I said, well, tell you what, I love it. I'd like to do some work with it. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been working with it and kind of getting some really odd effects here, and I want to continue with that today. So this is going to be a really interesting painting. It's going to be really odd, so I really want to work on that. I'm actually going to start right off with some of that green. I want that green in there, and what I want to do is just start bringing in these fingers here. There we go. Just bring them in just a bit, almost as if they had been painted there very roughly, which actually they are. There we go. I want it to be very, very obvious what I'm bringing to the table here, as they say. There we go. We like that. That's fun. Now I'm going to start up here again. Now, I'm not going to worry about thick paint or thin paint, but I'm going to take my finger there. There we go. Yay. Now my fingers have paint on them. It's always a sign of an artist. You look at someone, they got all kinds of paint stains on their clothes. They might just be an oil painter like me. My clothes always have some kind of paint stain on them. It's like I can't do without it. And I'm always getting paint stains. I tried the whole thing of having clothes that were specifically for painting, but sometimes I get caught up in the moment. And there are times when I have inspirations, like either late at night or, in the evening after I've done my work for the day, and still something will come up and I'll be like, oh, I really should put that down before I forget it. So some of my good clothes have ended up getting paint on them. That's all right. I'm just putting in this green just to bring these fingers out a little more. There we go. And these fingers are all foreshortened, so they're like this, they're that way towards the viewer. All right, now I've got that in. Oh, that's very colorful. I like lots of colors. That's one of the things that I really enjoy. I'm actually going to take some of this green. I'm just going to bring it on here. I'm giving this guy something for around here, just to bring him out. There we go. I love this grinning face. That was the thing that really attracted me to the piece to begin with, was that crazy grinning face there. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. I just want to bring out some odd bits. There we go. There. I think I saw this guy in the subway once. You know, it just kind of has that feel to it, which of course attracted me even more to the work. All right, time to grab a new brush. And what I'm doing is I'm also keeping each brush separate for each color. This way I don't have to go running back and forth to the turpentine. Nice thing about oil paints is they stay wet for a long time. That can really help with cleanup. You never know, I might want to use that brush again. I don't want to get a lot of turpentine on here. I did use a little bit of my soft glow medium, which is made right here at Gulotta Studios. I make it myself, and it's my own little formula. And that has been a very helpful thing. I'm going to use this filbert brush here. There we go. Finished a live feed on Facebook earlier today. If you ever want to catch them, you can check out the art by David Gulotta, Gulotta Studios fan page on Facebook, or you can also just check me out directly, Facebook/David Gulotta. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. I do a little live feed of whatever work I happen to have available. I'm just going to put a little bit of this green in here, this yellow here on the green, just to highlight a little bit. There we go, just to give it a little depth. And I'm using the edge of the brush here because I don't want to put too much emphasis, but I want to be able to maintain these brush strokes. And the nice flat filbert edge really does the job. There we go. Yeah, lots of colors. You know, some works aren't as colorful. Some are very, I love color. You know, colors are kind of my bag, you know. What's life without some color? It seems like this world is already going a little gray here. We need to add some colors to it. Keep it fun, keep it loving. You know what I mean? There we go. Just a hint of some bits here going on. There we go. There. Now the fingers are in a little nicely. I'm going to use some more of this yellow. And I'm just going to kind of rope some colors here. This is a very primitive or a primitivist form of art, which is kind of childlike while using good technical practices. I think that's really important, even when doing very childlike works. And bring some thought into it as well. You know, childlike works don't have to be thoughtless. And bring some of that right into the eyes there. Just a, ooh, here we go. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. This guy's liking the yellows. There we go. All right. Who knows what this thing is that it's actually holding? Who knows? This could be almost anything. I want to give that impression of whatever this is that this guy's holding. They're special. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't be holding them, would he? Or she? I don't know. I look at the face and I don't know. I just get an idea. It's some guy. Some crazy guy. There we go. There we go. Get that in there. All right. And now I'm just going to put in some marks here and there. Kind of indicating almost like there's graffiti on the wall here. Just bring that in. Lots of color. All right, so we got our green, we got our yellow. I'm just going to wipe off the brush real quick. Get my next brush out. And the next one, I think what I want to do is I want to work with some reds. We like reds. I like reds. Reds are fun. Reds are bold and vibrant. They do so many wonderful things. You can just dance them around. They're very useful. I like red. I think it's a very exciting color. What's really funny is I'm not a big fan of yellow, but there's so much yellow in this piece. So, all right, I'm gonna bring that in. This looks like a logo or something. Let's see. I am gonna put in some reds here. Almost like it's coming down from his hands. Maybe he's squeezing the ball too hard. It's, you know, leaking some red. There we go. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah, nice and crazy. We like crazy here. Bring some echoey reds over here. I'm going to echo that red up here. There. Like that. Yeah, bring in some more colors. This is a lot more freeform than I'm used to doing. Although my palette knife paintings are very freeform. There are more of those on YouTube here if you want to take a look, you know, and enjoy. There's some really quite a few so far. I've been trying to get one up a week. Most of the time that works out pretty good. And sometimes my schedule decides, no, Dave, you're not doing that. Such is the life of an artist. You know, sometimes you gotta roll with it. That's why I like to bring sketch pads with me and things like that. You know, if I have to go somewhere, or if I have to, you know, do something that doesn't have anything to do with art, and you know, there's a lot of that out there. You know, I don't really want to be stuck without any means of painting or drawing, so I tend to bring sketch pads and things like that. Just want to get some of these reds up in here, just to brighten the whole thing up. All right, I got my reds. Looks like I dipped one of my brushes into some paint. That's always fun. When I pick them up, my hands are going to be covered. Oh, dear me. That's all right. I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm used to it. I'm used to it by now. Okay. What do I want to do? I want to get some of this beautiful Indian orange yellow here. It's like an orangey yellow. I just want to accent some of the reds with that. It's not a very bright color. It is a very strong color. So it shows up next to the reds. It can actually compete with the reds a bit. So you can actually see it somewhat. And now what I want to do is I just want to go in here. Just want to get in with these teeth. I want them to really, there we go. We like that. This is a happy fellow. Maybe a little creepy, but happy. Very, very happy. There we are. And I want to get the opposite side of these eyes here. I got some yellow on one side. Now I'm bringing in this goldy yellow here. There, this orangey color. Yeah, just smooth that in. Now, this painting is very, very dry at this point. And that means I can really do some nice dry brush techniques to get things rolling. So I'll put a hint of something in here. Who knows what that'll be. Oh, here we go. I'm finger painting again. Yeah, happens. Happens a lot, actually. A lot more than you might think. Some famous artists used to use their fingers, Titian being one of them. There we go. There. Get this all in. But this painting in particular really allows me to play. It lets me have some fun. It's good to have fun when you're painting. You know, just because it's my job doesn't mean I shouldn't enjoy it. I should enjoy what I'm doing for a living. At least that's my theory. Not everyone agrees with me. That's okay. They don't have to. I enjoy it, and that's what's important. That's what's important. All right. Now with some of these reds, I kind of want to get a little bit of burgundy in there, because otherwise what ends up happening is that the red ends up looking a little flat. I want to get some of these dark bits in here. Yeah, some crazy colors for this crazy guy. There we go, lots of colors. Yeah, bring that in. And get some of these deep reds in here. And it's important sometimes to go off the canvas. This is why my my palettes always have paint on them. Because, you know, if you stop your paint right at the edge, it never looks right. So you gotta go, swoop right off the edge. Just like, whee! Yeah, there you go, you're off the edge. Yeah. And that can be very important. That brings the idea that what you're seeing is not the only thing that's going on, that there may be more going on behind the scenes, and drives curiosity. Curiosity is important. I want people to be curious. I want them to think. I want them to look at my work and start really thinking. You know, who knows? Maybe we can come up with, you know, solutions and ideas, but you can't do that if you're not thinking. You know. So I don't like being complacent about thinking. I want my work to be something that makes people think and wonder, what is this guy doing? What is this artist saying here with all this crazy stuff? Yeah. Sometimes I don't even know. Sometimes my mind just decides, we need this. There we go. Ooh. Bit of that. Just again, and again, I just want to just use a little bit of paint right in here. Just to bring out. And I'm just lifting it up just a touch to reinforce the smile. I want to reinforce that smile there. I'm just going to deepen this side right here just a little bit, give it a little extra depth. There we go. And just the indication that maybe there's, ooh, now he's looking at you. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. I'm going to get more of this burgundy red here. Just down in here. Some more of these colors. You know, it's funny, people talk about, you know, a work of art being a light piece or a dark piece, or, yeah, why limit yourself? You know, why not do something that's a bit of both? It shows that we can think two thoughts at the same time, even if they're opposites. Yes, we can. And yes, you can too. Why not? Why not? Just let it go. You know, too many people want things to be in one direction. Life isn't like that. Nature isn't like that. And a lot of us artists really look to nature for inspiration, even if we're not technically painting from nature. Let's go into this chromium oxide green. Chromium oxide is kind of a dull green. And it has a lot of uses. It's got a wonderful flat tone. It can be very useful. And you see it when it is near the reds, it really makes the red even bolder because they're opposite colors. Opposite colors do that to each other. They kind of mess with each other. We're always messing with each other, these two. You know, green and red. So if you ever want to shadow something that's like a green color, you use a deep red as its shadow, not black. All you'll get is a mess. So you want to use the opposite color. If the object is yellow, you use purples. If the object is red, you use green. If it's orange, you use blue. If it's blue, you use orange. And that way you get a better sense of the shadow. It actually looks more natural because shadows usually contain the opposite color of the object. And what's really handy is you can actually take a camera these days, without even taking a picture, you can just look at it and go, what is the opposite color there? You know, you can reverse color, and there you go. You've got an idea as to what's going on back there that you didn't notice, maybe you didn't know, didn't realize. So now I've got this orangey reddish thing going here. So again, I can come in with the green and just put that in. And look at that. It looks like shadows. And that's because the green is mixing with the reds. There we go. Good. Oh, I like the way that came out. It really jumps out now. Just a little green. Mixing the green with the red made a nice shadow there. Something to keep in mind. I love the blues in the background. I don't want to lose all the blues. That would make this lose a lot of its impact. So I'm probably going to come in later with some more blues and reestablish some of the blue colors that we have here. All right. And my next color. The next one is actually going to be the Payne's Gray. Now, Payne's Gray is a very deep purplish blue with gray. So it looks like black, but it's not black. And that means when it mixes with other colors, it almost automatically shadows them. And I want to get these deep darks in here. I want them to look like they're all in shadow here. Builds the mystery. There we go. Build that mystery on a colorful piece. There we go. Now, I do like collaborating, but the student really was very unhappy with the work. I loved it. I looked at this guy and said, "Oh, please paint this one." And not today. So they were like, "No, why don't you do something with it?" So I was like, "All right, here I go. I'm doing something with it." I'm just taking just a little bit of paint, not too much, just a little bit, and just making that a little bolder. Making these shadows here just a little bit bolder. And I love the roughness and the textures in this canvas. I'm going to have to pull some more of those textures out. They're hard to see. But that's all right. We'll be able to do that with palette knife. That'll probably be the last part of what I do for this lovely painting, is use a little palette knife and bring out some of those other colors, probably in blues. That would be really cool. Like this big lump here. This is like the big lump of paint there. I want to bring that out, make it pop out. And it can't pop out if it doesn't have the colors, and because it's a rough area, I want it to just rest on the surface of the bumps and wrinkles, and that way it'll bring it in even more. Kind of like what's going on here. You got these funny lines here because of some wrinkles in the paint. It's just the paint is very, very thick. It's very thickly derived. I'm not going to touch this guy with the Payne's Gray. It's too dark. Far too dark for this guy. That would not be good. But I am going to use a little bit of it to kind of bring it around the face. Just roughly. Just roughly. Yeah. Just to unify this a little bit. Almost looks like charcoal. That's the other reason I like Payne's Gray. It has that charcoal look. I used to draw a lot with charcoal. I love working with charcoal still, especially for life drawings. You know, for me, there's no better way of capturing the human form. It just, charcoal flows like the human form flows. Yeah. That kind of flow is a very beautiful thing. That's why historically a lot of artists have not really been into the skinny model thing. Yeah, no flow. No flow to the lines. It's all angles. Human body isn't angles. But that's useful for fashion. It's useful for showing off clothing. I think I'm just going to dirty this up just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Mr. Finger again. Yay. You see why things in the studio get dirty. It's my fault. It's all my fault. So, that's all right. I'm willing to take the blame. I'll take the hit. Just gonna round this a little bit more. It was looking a little oblong there. That looks better. That looks better. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. All right. And darks are very important You know, without darks, you don't have lights. Your light colors don't show up without these darks around it that are sitting there saying, well, you know, otherwise your lights, everything pales out. And you have some darks in there, it really brings out everything that's light colored and makes it look amazing. It really makes them pop out and hit you. So it's probably good to wear goggles in case your painting hits you. Now, I have my glasses, so I'm not too worried about it. You never know, though. This guy looks mischievous. He might throw one of these balls at me and smack me right in the head. That's one of the things I haven't quite figured out yet, but I'm going to, is what these are about. So I got some textures on that one already, but I'm not married to it yet. It hasn't even proposed. We haven't even gone to dinner yet. Yeah, so a little premature for that. There. And I want this to look like it's been painted over and over, and that there are other things under it. Kind of like when you see like you know, some subway graffiti where it's just been like piled on, you know, whether it's, you know, tags or, you know, pieces of artwork. There's like stuff behind that, you know, you don't know what they were saying or what they were doing or even what they were thinking. Who knows? Who knows? Haven't decided that yet. I might never. Leave the real mystery there. It's always good to have a little mystery in your work. All right, I'm taking a step back. I'm going to step forward again. Sorry, I disappeared. But it's always good to step back from a painting and see, how's it looking? How's it looking from 10 feet away? How's it looking from 20 feet away? So if your studio is large enough, you can do the 20 feet. Mine's not quite that large, so I tend to just step back a few, you know, about 10 feet, and then take a look and see where it's going. And I decided I really want that face coming out, so I've got to very carefully bring in some more of this Payne's gray. There we go. There we go. I like that. Yeah, he's like a ring of his own madness. It's a happy kind of madness. It's just a strange kind of madness. Yeah, I like strange. Strange is good. And just to feature some of these brighter colors down here, I'm actually going to take some of these darker colors and bring them in. Bring those dark colors in. We like dark colors. They really help our light colors show. There we go. Oh, that's good. You know, it's funny, it's really coming together. And yet for me, I feel like I've barely started the work. But then part of it was made ahead of time. So, yeah, nice and convenient for me. I like that. I'm definitely going to be giving the student credit for doing the bit that they did, because I think they did a great job. This was done by my apprentice Amanda Williams, and she really, I think she just made something fantastic. And yeah, sometimes people aren't interested in finishing work if they don't feel it. Well, I'm glad it was given to me to finish up rather than anything happening to it. I don't want to see that happen. All right, now let's see. I've got the white. Oh yeah, we've got white. We've got this titanium white. Titanium white is very, very white. It's very stark. It's a very snow in bright sunlight kind of stark. You know, it's just very, very bright stuff. I just want to brighten up in here just a little bit, kind of randomly. There we go. There. Well, let's see. Oh, I like that. Like someone tried to cover over it. There. Maybe I can use the brush for that. Just to get some of these little bits and pieces like plaster sticking out. I got this here. Yeah. I think the knife would be better, but doesn't matter. There we go. As long as it's a light touch, they'll show up. These little bits and pieces of texture just showing up from underneath the painting. This had some interesting layers to it. All right, I got my whites in. So now I'm just gonna take some white and lighten up some of this. Oh, I know, I'll work on this. Put in some white bits there. Like the face is glowing onto it. I like that too. That's good. There we go. Yeah. You know, people get caught up with a lot of, will people like it? Do you like it? To me, that's more important. Do you like your work? Do you like what you're doing? Well, that's good. You should. You should like what you're doing. Yeah. If you don't like what you're doing, stop doing it. Simple words for a very complex process. I'm often accused of that. It's true. It's true. I have to admit. Yeah. Easy to say, not easy to do. It seems to be the catchword for the day today. All right, I'm just gonna get some other things in here. Some roughly put in bits. Yeah, some streaks. Look at this. Oh, I'm being brutal here. It's terrible. Yeah. But I like the way the streakiness is going. I like where that's heading. And for that, we need this titanium white. There. I like that. All right. Now in here where there's some brighter colors, I want to kind of just a thin layer of the white, and you can see it blends with the other colors very nicely. There we go. There, it's making all kinds of really interesting colors now. There. Ooh. It's been an interesting week, especially after last weekend. Whew. It was a very interesting weekend. Yeah, I'm gonna put in some streaky bits in there. We like streaky bits. There we go. Put some streaky bits in the red. Just got a streaky bit going in here. Bring out that orange there. Some random patterns. Fill in some bits and pieces. There we go. There we go. We like that. Good. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to bring in some blues. Maybe some King's blue, which is very bright blue. Wipe off my brush. It's got a little too dirty. There we go. Yay. Much cleaner now. I want to bring in some King's blue and maybe a Delft blue or a light phthalo. That might be really nice for this. So I want to bring in some of these brighter pieces here just to give them a little extra notice. There. All right. Ooh. It's a complex process. It always has been. Art is can be very complex. But you notice the more colors I start putting together, the more they pull in and really, really flow. In just a minute, I'm going to show you up close what the work looks like. So see what excellent. So here we go. Just going to bring that in just a little bit. All right. Now, if I continue on at this point, I'm just going to muddy the colors. I don't want to do that. I want them nice and separate. I want them to look mashed on there. So let's bring the camera closer and let's see. what we've done here today. And so there's the work. I'll bring it in. There. This way you can see all the parts that were put in today all the way around. So that's how the work is coming along, and we're going to finish this work later on, and I'm just about ready for the final touches for this work. So this work's going to be finished very soon, and if I get the opportunity to, I'll finish it here for you right on YouTube. So thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate. Hope you've enjoyed this. I know I've enjoyed doing it. And please check out my YouTube page and GulottaStudios.com, which has the rest of my works. Hope you had a wonderful time. I know I did. Happy painting to you all. Thank you very much.